I'm going to show you how to make this 1,000-layer apple pie dessert in the Blackstone pizza oven. You start by taking whatever your favorite apple is, and you're going to need about 1 apple per serving of this dessert. And then I use this special apple coring knife to just remove the core of that apple. And then I'm going to use my mandolin on its thinnest setting and slice that apple up into thin little slices. Then I'm going to take about a stick of butter and I'm going to put it into a bowl and melt it in the microwave. And I'm going to add some brown sugar and cinnamon. I'm not doing any exact measurements here. We're just kind of playing it by ear and getting a nice little brown sugar cinnamon mixture. You can use a little more or a little less cinnamon depending on your flavor, your preference. Then you're going to dip each slice individually into that mixture. The important thing is that you get each slice completely covered on both sides with this butter mixture. They do tend to stick together, so if you throw in a bunch of slices at one time, they will stick together and not get completely covered. Once you've filled a small ramekin full of apple slices, like I have here, you're going to notice there's a lot of excess butter brown sugar mixture in there. So I'm going to just drain the rest of that off back into my bowl here. You don't want all that excess butter in there because it'll just bubble over when you go to cook it. So I've made 6 servings here, about 1 apple each in these little ramekins, and I'm going to place them neatly on the Blackstone pizza pan. That way I can put them in the pizza oven and they can sit there nicely in case they do bubble over and it doesn't ruin my pizza stone. And then we're going to cook these in the pizza oven. I have the pizza oven set on the low setting and they're going to cook for about 20 minutes total, but we're going to split that time for 10 minutes now without any topping on them. And while they're cooking for that first 10 minutes, I'm going to get some puff pastry here, make sure it's completely thawed so that it's pliable and you can roll it out. I'm going to use a rolling pin to just kind of thin it out a little bit, stretch it out, make sure those creases are going to hold together. Once you've got that all thinned out with your rolling pin, I'm just going to use a glass that's about the right size to cut some circles out of this puff pastry. We'll do 1 circle per ramekin of apples. Once you have all your puff pastries cut, and it's been about 10 minutes of those apples cooking, you'll see that they're starting to brown and starting to bubble up. So it's about time for me to pull them out. Now they're not all the way cooked, they still need another 10 minutes in the oven, but we're going to do that last 10 minutes with the puff pastry on them. So I'm going to pull these out and you can just kind of see how much they're bubbling there already. It's starting to get cooked down. And then I'm going to top each one of these ramekins with my puff pastry. I'm just going to go around and make sure each one is fit firmly on top there. Once I have a puff pastry on top of each ramekin of apples, I'm going to just hit it with a light brushing of some egg wash. Be real light here. You don't want scrambled eggs on top of your puff pastry. So I'm going to hit it with some egg wash. This will help the puff pastry to brown up and it will help to stick a sugar and cinnamon mixture that I've made here, and I'm just going to lightly sprinkle that across the top. Got that nice cinnamon and sugar on top. Time to put it back in the pizza oven. Remember that pan is probably still hot, so be careful. And we're going to let that go for about another 10 minutes in the pizza oven. After about 10 minutes, you'll see that puff pastry is going to be puffed up quite a bit. You'll see the apples are just bubbling underneath there. This is exactly what we want to see. This is why we have it on a pizza pan. You can see they're kind of bubbling over a little bit there. That pizza pan helps protect my pizza stone. We're going to set these out and I'm going to let these cool. Not completely, but I want them to cool off enough where I can actually handle them and pick them up with my hands. So once they're cooled, we can flip these over onto a plate. We're going to serve this upside down, so the puff pastry acts like a pie shell, and you've got your apples and cinnamon and sugar on top. I'm going to top this with a big scoop of vanilla ice cream, get some a la mode style going here. And y'all, this is so good. The apples are so tender, and they just kind of melt in your mouth. Let me know if you try it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time, thanks for watching.